Hello, everyone. This is Omar from the Third Rail. Hope everybody's having a beautiful, wonderful day. We are sorry for the delay of the show. I was supposed to start at 6:30. Had something to do. I want to thank you all very much. We have a big show today for the first time. The show is going to concentrate on the leftist YouTubers who have sold they sold to the devil, and they have become spokesperson for a genocide that been taking place for the last one year, right? 400 days. And they have defended it, whether it is, they don't care how they defend it. As long as they get their money, it's okay. You know who they are. And we're going to watch some videos of people who reacted to them. And we're going to talk about the Jewish soccer fans who went to Amsterdam and they thought they were in Israel. And they thought they were in Israel because in Israel, these fans, what they usually do, they do the same thing. They chant death to the Arabs. We're gonna kill all the Arabs, and they just added a new chant. They introduced it to their chant is, uh, "No more schools in Gaza. All the children are dead. No more children. No more schools in Gaza. The children are dead." This is in Tel Aviv. So when they do that in Tel Aviv, they're protected by the IDF. They go outside. They start attacking Palestinians in front of hoodlism. You have that in Europe, but they are racist. In Europe, they have like fan bases who hate each other. A matter of fact, what happened was um, they came to 200 Jewish Israelis. They're Jewish, man. Fuck this Israeli. I'm not gonna call them Israelis no more because you can't be a victim. You can't be when you fight and you lose. You're Jewish, but when you're not, you're an Israeli. So we gotta call it what it is. Jewish citizens from Israel came, about 200 came to support their team, the Maccabees. I don't know who the hell they are. They were supposed to play against a team in Amsterdam. So when they got to Amsterdam the day before, the game was on a Thursday. So they came on a Wednesday. They went to the town square in Amsterdam. They took down Palestinian flags because Amsterdam, there's a lot of Arabs there and a lot of pro-Palestinian people, European, they're all pro-Palestinian due to the genocide in Gaza. They started taking down the flag and burning them in the streets. And they started going nuts from place to place and chanting death to the Arab and attacking taxi drivers, mostly Arabs, because that's what they do over there. And they thought they were going to get away with it. Well, they found out you play around, you're going to around. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I'm going to go over there. Let's just get a look of what they did. Then we talk. Ready?
Palestinians in Israel, we don't have what we have to do.
They were some of the thousands of
Hold on. Let me start from the beginning. I want you to know. I want you to know there are some biases in the media because in the beginning, they were not biased. As a matter of fact, Sky News did a segment that told the truth. After they told the truth, I think they got a phone call from someplace, and they took it down. They took it down and put a pro-Jewish report and showed them that they are a victim, not the attackers. Let's watch this news report from Amsterdam, and you can get an idea what I'm talking about.
After a violent night in Amsterdam, Israeli football fans are taken to the airport by Jewish volunteers.
We don't trust on the Dutch people.
Why don't you trust them?
Because what we have been to yesterday, it's not something that we have in Israel.
Yeah.
With the Palestinians in Israel, we don't have what we have to do.
They were some of the thousands of
With the Israelis in Israel, you know what we're going to do to them? We're going to beat them up because we are protected by the IDF or the IF. We're a bunch of pussies, but when it comes to Tel Aviv, we could beat those people up. But in Europe, we can't do it. We try to play this little game, and they thought they're going to get away with it. They couldn't get away with it, and they deserve to be
supporters of Maccabi Tel Aviv who had gathered in the Dutch capital for the match against Ajax. Many were seen ripping down Palestinian flags and chanting racist slogans. Outraged by the racist incitement, dozens turned out on the streets and battled with Israeli football fans and police following the match. Dozens were injured. The Amsterdam mayor strongly condemned what she described as anti-Semitic riots. She didn't condemn the actions of the Israeli fans.
And of course, they are related to the situation in the Middle East and the ongoing war in Israel and Palestine. But what happened last night is not a protest. It has nothing to do with protest or demonstration. It was crime.
Israeli leaders were quick to compare the violence with the Holocaust and October 7. The Israeli foreign minister.
You have to understand that the Jews, our cousin, they're my cousin, they have this victimhood, it's theirs. They have a monopoly on it. It's a trademark. I mean, they sue you if you try to play a victim. Always fuck around, attack people, do crazy shit, and if you get a response, you invoke the Holocaust. Even Anne Frank came out of the woodworks. Anne Frank had nothing. She was in the attic. She was in the attic. She had nothing to do with it. And then some incident, we failed. Even there, I didn't even know Holland had a king. The king of Holland came out and he said, well, we want to apologize to the Jewish people. We failed them in World War II and we failed them last night. They're hooligans. They started the problems. They were burning flags. They were chanting races. They were beating up taxi drivers. This is not Tel Aviv. This is Europe, Amsterdam. And they got a response from the locals who do not agree with their behavior. And they became dramatic. You know, Netanyahu sent like 3 planes to pick up the Jewish hooligans. They came in planes, the same plane. This is all a show. It's all a show. Well, we fucked up, but what we're gonna do? We're gonna blame it on the local population, what happens to be a lot of Arabs, and we're gonna say it's anti-Semitism. This is the problem. If I get a fight with a guy, and it's just a fight, let's say in New York City, this is what. Let's just give you an example. Let's say I had a fight with a guy in the subway. I don't even know he's Jewish. You know, I knock him out a little bit. You know, because I'm a New Yorker, I'm a good fighter. They're not going to say that 2 guys had a fight over a seat or somebody stepped on each other's, in New York, if you stepped on somebody's shoes, that's it, you might lose your life. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, well, Omar, an Arab American, attacked an anti-Semitic, attacked a Jewish person because he's Jewish. Not because we had a disagreement as human beings. Let's finish this shit show here. This victimhood. We are the victims. This is good. You know, I keep on pressing the wrong button.
They even traveled to the Netherlands, saying upon arrival that Amsterdam is not safe for Jews. Authorities in both the Netherlands and Israel have been quick to describe last night's riots as anti-Semitic, without giving much context to what happened leading up to Israeli football supporters being attacked. Some say it's created a dangerous narrative and fear more anti-Muslim and anti-immigration rhetoric.
Principal emotions is ignited by the genocide that Israel is committing. So it's an opposition to that. And sorry to say, but the McAfee Tel Aviv supporters put themselves in that context by attacking Palestinian symbols and saying racist slurs about Palestinians.
While most Israeli football fans have left the Netherlands, the Dutch government says it will do all it can to welcome them back safely. Step Fast in Al Jazeera, Amsterdam.
All right. So
make sure to.
All right, take it easy. So you see what happened, right? You see the truth. The Jewish boys came from Tel Aviv, wanted to pop some shit, started burning flags, beating up cab drivers, and anyway, if I was in Amsterdam, I don't care if they say death to the Arabs. You know, we're not gonna die. I mean, this is stupid chant. But in an emotional time, if you're saying no more schools in Gaza, no more schools because the children are all dead, then you're gonna have an issue with me because we're gonna punch you right in the face right away. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll punch you right in the face because that's well, you have a genocide and you're talking crazy. Let's say, because I'm gonna go to what Wick, that filthy animal said. You know, Wick, a filthy human being. Oh, his teeth. Ugh. I couldn't eat after I saw his mouth. Okay, hold on. Let's see what Wick has to say. So Wick got on. Wick, you know, he had to make his dollar. Brianna will call him. She said, the ADL are calling us. What are you doing, Wick? Get on the TV. You have no audience. You're losing your audience. Your channel is stalled. Huh? You know? Okay, let's go. Hold on. All right. Now let's listen to our friend Wick here, Wick TV. His name is Wick TV. He's part of the triangular of Wick, the lone box we're gonna get to later, and Destiny we're gonna get to later. Let's start with the easy one, who has no value at all. But just I want to show his anti-Islamic behavior. He's been doing this since day one. Day one. I noticed it when they first ripped up the posters in New York City. He did a whole show on the posters. When they started killing children left and right, nothing. The cricket. Right? Let me see. Okay, where are you, Wick? Can't see, man. My eyesight. I'm gonna have surgery on Thursday. And today's my birthday, so say happy birthday, Omar. What's up, John Wayne? Where you been, man? What kind of loyal friend are you, man? I don't see you no more. The media, how to defend the horrific. Horrific. That's the headline that Wick, whatever the fuck. How could you name yourself Wick TV? I don't know what kind of name is that. You know, at least I have a name. All right, let's go. We're gonna watch this is Wick. This is a filthy human being. Let's say I didn't know what was going on until I went to his show and I'm watching. I thought he was talking about someplace, dude. You know, when he was saying, I thought he was talking about the election in New York. You know, I said, what's going on? The election in the United States. Maybe, you know, people started going nuts. So let's just listen a little bit. This is Wick. He's a paid puppet. Okay, ready? Oh, okay. I think I got to bring him here. Hold on. I got to bring you here, right? Hold on. Okay. Hold on.
Things is the double standard.
Double standard.
The double standard at play and how people treat these incidents, treat the various players in these incidents. And we're going to go through it.
Yes, go ahead.
Homie, evening, friend. Hey, homie. Dylan Bowser says, Wick Jr.
Hello.
My beard's gone, but
Filth. This is
it
pure
lives
filth.
on in all our hearts. It'll grow back soon enough.
Fix your teeth, man.
Cameraman 502, what is this deep fake with Wick's voice? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, fix your teeth.
Lesson cell, is anti-Semitism growing in popularity again? I know it sounds like I am joking, but it's slowly starting to look more and more like it.
John Wayne, dude.
Why does? Nice to see you.
You started
let's
popping up again. Yeah, John, I was sick, man. I was depressed.
Let's begin.
John. I was depressed, man. I was depressed, John Wayne.
Kind of get into it.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think where to start.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see. He's trying to how to make up the story.
And I think we'll start here. Let me find it.
Let me speed this guy up because we don't want to look at his mouth a long time.
I think probably the best place to start.
Look how he starts to describe it. Horrendous
is here.
Horrendous.
Okay.
All right.
This one it won't be where we end. Now again, there's a lot to go through.
Yeah, all right.
So bear with me.
Yeah, we're bearing with you.
But I think we will start here. Let's see how it goes. Cool.
Let me speed him up. See. Maybe he's not.
Muslim mobs in Amsterdam are hunting.
Whoa, Muslim mob.
This is fiction.
Look how he started. Muslim mob. Done. These are the liberals, John. I'm not a liberal no more. I gave up on them.
Here's another video.
There's nothing there.
This for the children! For the children, motherfucker!
That's right. For the children.
For the children! Free Palestine now! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Yeah.
You want to kill kids? Kids in prison, man. Kids. This for the children!
Okay. Go ahead. All right.
Keep going.
Free Palestine. No, what time? Louder. I want it louder now. Free Palestine. Say it. Say it. Where from? Say it. Huh? Привет. Спасибо. Passport.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Where are you from?
Thank you. You're absolutely right, man.
Спасибо. Привет. Why you say this? I don't say anything. I did what it is, man, but I'm not. I'm European. I'm curious. So, why are you doing this shit?
Mind you, thank you, John. Man. Thank you, my friend. I hope you stay with me on my channel, man. I appreciate it. I was really depressed for a couple of months, really depressed, deep depression, man. I hope it never happens to anybody, but thank God we're okay. Donald Trump won, thank God. I'm a Donald Trump now. I'm after him. I'm with him. Tired of these hypocrite liberals here. Hypocrisy. Okay, this is Wick TV. Now, his whole shtick here is that he wants to highlight the fighting that took place. There was fighting. I'm not going to deny that, but it was an action to a reaction. When they beat up cab drivers, this is the Jewish hooligans. When they started beating up the cab drivers, they started burning the Palestinian flags. What are you doing? You're not in Israel. You can't do that there. In Israel, you have the luxury of having your another 18-year-old with a gun to beat up any Palestinian that might look at you wrong. Let's see now.
Video after video.
Yeah.
After video.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go through more.
Go ahead. Yeah.
This shit happening.
Yeah.
Them going around.
Yeah.
Trying to find, are you Jewish? Are you Israeli?
Yeah.
And if oh, God help you if you are.
Yeah. He's got paid. He got like maybe a couple $100 for this. Good. Good. You filthy animal. Good.
Find you some more.
Yeah. He's going to show us a lot of videos, guys. He's going to show us a lot of videos.
Stay.
We got to move it. We don't want him.
He's not screaming, I'm not Israeli. Not screaming that.
Right.
He's not screaming, I'm not Zionist.
Yeah.
He's not screaming that. That's
Yeah.
not hurt. Again, there's going to be a lot of people telling you, oh, these are just.
Mind you, 50,000 people have been killed, and according to some publications, almost 186,000 to 200,000 Palestinians have been murdered by Israel, and their land has been devastated. Not even one show out of his daily show, not even one mention of the children that have been killed and massacred in Gaza. But some douchebag Israeli Jewish guy going crazy in a European capital, thinking that he's back in Tel Aviv, that he could do whatever he wants. All of a sudden, victim comes in, and all the barking dogs come out. You can just see. I'm going to show you, if I get a chance, Sky News changed a segment. The first segment told the truth. I think they got a phone call. They deleted it and did another segment opposite. We're going to see it, inshallah, later.
Zionists. These are just Israelis. It wasn't anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
It was Israeli Zionists, right? Football hooligans. They were going to go for revenge, right, against the football hooligans. He wasn't screaming, I'm not Israeli.
By the way, he did a GoFundMe to fix his teeth, and he got $3,000, and he took the $3,000 and he never fixed his teeth. And he doesn't know that a human being's window is his teeth. You got to look like a human being, man. Go ahead.
Israeli. He's not screaming, I'm not Zionist.
Yeah.
These people weren't screaming, you're a Zionist, you're a Zionist. They were screaming, you're a Jew, you're a Jew.
Yeah. So when they're losing, they're Jewish. When they're beating up
He was
somebody, they're
screaming,
Israeli.
I'm
right?
not Jewish.
Yeah.
I'm not Jewish.
Yeah. They have that.
They were not
clock-like
hunting Zionists. They were not hunting Israelis.
Yeah.
They
They're
were
hunting
hunting
Jews.
Jews.
Why? Stop. This is a lie. You're lying. Look at that. Look. Look at these faces he's making. He lives in a small room in a trailer. That's his whole studio. Look at
Do
it.
you understand, right,
Yeah.
how horrific this is? I don't know if I'm communicating it properly.
No, you're not. You're lying.
I don't know if I'm communicating it properly.
Not really.
Let me see if I can find more.
Yeah, you're gonna show us
A couple
videos.
more for you guys. I need
Yeah.
to grab it.
He has to
from my
show us
other
videos.
sources
Go
here.
ahead, go ahead. Come on, speed it up.
A moment, please.
Let me speed it up more. Because I swear to God, when I saw his mouth, I couldn't eat last night. I swear to God. I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be nasty or something like that. Or make fun of him. It's the truth. Good.
I'm sorry. I know I'm a little disjointed right now, but I'm very upset.
He's upset. 20,000 children. He's not upset.
Not just because this happened, Bill.
But some asshole took a beating in Amsterdam.
But the reaction to a lot of people who are saying, "Well, no, it's just these are just soccer hooligans. They got what they deserve." See, here, okay, I'll do it here. I'll do it here, right? I'll start here.
Good.
There's a lot of people who are showing this video, right? I'll show it to you guys.
All right.
You can listen to it.
That's them. That's the Jews, the Jewish hooligans, and because we gotta call them. You can't call them Israelis when they beating up people, but as soon as they get beat up, they're Jewish. You can't have both. No way. You have to pick one. I don't care. I'm gonna call you by your nationality or ethnicity. I don't recognize Israel no more. So he has to show this. I think this is them going nuts in the middle of the city. Holland is a small country. You could run from one side to another if you drank a couple of Red Bulls. You had to show that. That's them.
They're chanting, and again, this is Twitter translation, so take it with a grain of salt, but let's just grant it, okay? They're chanting, IDF will fuck the Arabs, death to Arabs. Why are there schools in Gaza? There are no children left there. And to be clear, I want to be very clear, but that's horrific to chant.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
All
That's
right.
very bad. That's genocidal chanting. That's very worrisome. That's very hateful.
Okay.
The people who chanted that, if that is in fact what...
So what should the people do when you come into a city that you don't belong in and start chanting genocidal shit in this city, man? You don't get no favors. You don't get to claim your victimhood card of anti-Semitism, anti-Jewishness, and start invoking the Holocaust, Anne Frank and everybody else and their mother. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to behave. You are a visitor in a different country. You are in Europe. You're not in the Middle East. You're not occupying Amsterdam. You should have came. You know what they did? First of all, it started in the stadium. They had a moment of silence. I swear to God, they had a moment of silence for the dead people in Spain. They had a flood in Spain, and they didn't shut up. They blew up firecrackers. They were whistling because they hate Spain because Spain recognized Palestine. So you're already disrespecting the people in the stadium. If I went into a country and there's a moment of silence, I'm going to stand up, and especially if I'm watching a game. I'm a big sport fan. I love football. And for you, imagine the World Trade Center happened, or the floods in Florida that killed, or North Carolina that killed a lot of people. And we're watching a game against an Israeli soccer that came to California, Los Angeles, and they had a moment of silence for the dead in South Carolina. And then while everybody stood up, the visiting hooligans are whistling and blowing up firecrackers and laughing and celebrating. Then you already have an issue with the locals. You already are disrespecting the locals. You understand? You're already behind. This is what it is. We don't like this media. All of a sudden, they have to carry water for anything that is Jewish or that is Israeli. You can't do that no more. This is not right. You understand? We're not going for that no more. The media is owned. Even this people like this who eats ramen noodle soup, this liberal garbage.
What they chanted are horrible people, and that's terrible. They should not have done that. It's condemnable. It's anti-Arab racism.
Okay, thank you.
You see how easy that is for me to say?
Okay. Yeah, that was easy.
But two things can be true at the same time.
Okay.
We can condemn that kind of language, that kind of action.
Yeah.
Right. We can condemn, and there are other videos, and we can go through them. Right. Of they are during the soccer match, they had a minute of silence, and there was some Israelis or the Israeli team fans being rowdy during the minute of silence.
You see, the moment of silence. He has to say that because he has to cover his ass. Because this whole video he did, he had no guests. He's a member of the pro genocidal mafia, Brianna Wu, Destiny the Cockhold, and the homo gay Lorna Box, who had sex with Destiny when they went to Tel Aviv. True, you can sue me. I don't care. Now let's watch a little bit of this and let's go.
There's also videos of, as this person put it, when we get to it, tearing down Palestine flags in the streets and mocking dead children. There are videos of that. Yeah. That's condemnable. People who are destroying public property. Bad. People who are tearing up other people's flags. Bad. Condemnable. Anti-Arab racism. Yes.
So how should they react to them? How should they? This is a soccer game. These are all young people. How should they react to that kind of disrespect in your face behavior?
True. But when your response to that,
you gotta take a beating.
And assuming this was a response to that, there is some evidence that this was all these attacks, these ambushes were planned well in advance of any of that, right?
No, it was not planned before. No, it wasn't.
If your response to
you're
that
lying.
Is, let's go on a Jew hunt.
Oh, here we go.
We can understand that
poor Jews.
Two things are true. One, shouldn't do chants, shouldn't tear down Palestinian flags. That's bad.
Yeah, okay.
Two, going on a Jew hunt through the streets of Amsterdam is significantly worse and not justified by one at all. At all, and under any other circumstances. Motherfuckers, right? If you are there and you watched the college protests in America where they tore up Jewish flags.
Take it easy, wick your garbage. Look at those teeth, you filthy animal. Woo!
In Israelis' faces, yelled at them, screamed that they wanted 1,000 October 7th to happen to them, right? And then, if that same, people had gone on a college woman hunt, and started.
If he was defending Arabs, I will sue him to stop. I don't want this to represent us.
Beating up Arabs, you would understand why that's terrible, why that's a terrible, unreasonable response, why that's not okay to do. And in fact, I covered this on my stream live, live. And you can go back and you can look when the LA college protesters, do you remember that? The LA college protesters, they had a little encampment. A bunch of people came in, A bunch of Jews and other people came in, launched fireworks at them, beat a bunch of people up, We're
the same shit.
I condemn that wholesale.
That
was
prejudice,
behavior. Racist, all the words, I didn't try to excuse it. I didn't try to make excuses for it. I just condemned it because it's condemnable. So you would understand how even if someone's mean to you and chants mean-head things, that going around and beating up anyone of a certain ethnicity is not the proper response.
See, the whole idea, Wick, you're not understanding the situation. I know you're smarter than that, and you have to do your job to collect that 30, that Judah collect that 30 shekels, whatever it's called. The issue here, there are people who are upset and angry. They are so upset when they see that women and children are being killed alive in Gaza and murdered every day on TV, and they already are agonizing what they see and that the world is not doing anything. And then those people who are doing it, they're going to come to a city where these people live, though they're Arabs, but they're still citizens of Holland. And you come and you start singing the chant, there's no schools in Gaza because all the children is dead. What kind of response you think you're going to get, especially from football fans? I mean, what are you going to get? I mean, stop, don't say that. No, I mean, what kind of response you think you're going to get? I don't understand that. You understand? Let's say in 2001, was it 9/11 happened and the Twin Towers were a lot of 3,000 Americans were killed. Imagine Arabs from a different country, not us, the citizens. We love America. We love you, America. Trump, we love you too. So, so imagine they come into a city and they start singing, there's no more office building because there are no more workers. You see how painful that is? What reaction are you going to get? You're going to get a bad reaction, my friend. Okay?
And if you, and there's a couple people in my community, who did this. If your first thing, it says, well, they fucking deserved it because they said mean things. You're a fucking anti-Semite. You're a fucking anti-Semite. I don't know what else to tell you.
His channel is losing subscribers.
You're a fucking anti-Semite.
He has no personality, no charisma.
You don't see Jews as people. You don't view them as real, right? You're okay with anything happening to them. To run around and make excuses for this. Again, let's watch some of this, right? And let me ask you, okay? This guy right here.
Yeah.
What mean chants did he say?
Bark. Come
What
on.
Palestinian flag did this guy right here? What Palestinian flag did he tear down? Show me, motherfucker. Show me the chant that this guy made.
Take it easy, little pussy.
Because they hunted him down. They chased him through the streets. They beat him into unconsciousness. And then when he was unconscious, they continued to beat him.
Well deserved.
Show me what Palestinian flag he tore down.
Yeah.
Show me what mean thing he said about Arabs.
Well, I mean, at that moment,
he's
getting a response at that moment. Anyway, I'm going to leave this guy.
I'm livid.
He's livid.
Angry.
He's angry.
You people are sick. You disgust me. People run this cover for this.
Okay, how about the genocide, Wick? Have you seen those children? Did you see that guy who was burned alive with the IV in his hand in a hospital? I didn't see you talk about him. I didn't see no videos on your channel. Didn't see not even one video. How about that girl Hind, who was stuck in a car for 3 hours with all her family dead, talking to an ambulance? By the time when the ambulance got there, they killed the ambulance crew and they killed Hind. You never talked about her. You are a miserable piece of shit. You cannot be taken seriously. You cannot have orchestrated reaction of selective outrage. Well, you know, they hate the Jews. They hate them. The anti-Semitic. What did he do? Good.
Disgust me. You were disgusting.
Yeah. All right, let me look at that. Go clean yourself up. I gotta get rid of this.
This is something you would never tolerate to any other group. You would understand it's bad when it happens to any other group. You guys remember the race riots in, I think, Scotland, maybe it was Ireland, one of the European countries, right?
Yeah.
An immigrant allegedly raped a girl. Okay,
and
so right wing, kind of fashy protesters went on an immigrant hunt where they beat up immigrants, right?
A guy
where they set fire to places where immigrants were, where they did things like this.
That's a lie. Let me remind you what happened in England. Mike Robbins, whoever his name is, paid by the Zionists to agitate right-wing response in the streets so he could stop the anti-Israeli protests that was happening in England. That's the whole game. And the person he did not rape, he killed, I think, 2 girls in a school. And he happens to be a born Englishman from Rwanda. He had nothing to do with Muslim, was not a foreigner. He was born there. You know, you got to go, man. I can't have you, man. I don't want my viewers, man. Maybe I got 2 viewers or 3 viewers, man. They like my channel. I don't want to quit my channel. Get out of here. All right. Okay. I'll tell you what. I have an idea here. So Wick here, he's saying that it was anti-Semitism. They hunted the Jews because they were Jewish, because they don't like Jewish people. That's what he said, right? Okay. Let's ask a Jewish person what happened. Let's go. Okay. Let's ask a Jewish person. There she goes.
To be a vile, violent nuisance to the locals.
Okay, hold on.
I know.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I say this as a Jewish person. What happened in Amsterdam was not a pogrom. It was a around and find out. I'm a Jewish girl. I've spent plenty of time in Europe. I'm 100% confident I can travel safely throughout Europe. You know why? Because I'm not running around town screaming and pulling down residents' flags.
Right.
I'm not in a huge group of aggressors chanting death to Arabs.
Thank you.
Nobody would ever catch me singing a jingle about the dead children of Gaza.
Thank you.
And in general, I wouldn't be walking around trying to be a vile, violent nuisance to the locals.
Right.
I know. I could post up on any public street corner.
Okay.
And light my Shabbat candles.
Thank
and
you.
wear my Star of David.
Thank
and
you.
invite people to say the Mourner's Kaddish and talk to them about being a Jew against genocide. And I would be fine. I would be fine. I would be absolutely safe. I could identify myself as a Jew, as so many people have done, by the way, at pro-Palestine rallies and protests, and either be welcomed.
Thank you.
Or ignored. I'm thinking about that woman who tried to disrupt the protest by wearing the I'm a Jew shirt and everyone just walked around her.
Yeah, I remember that.
That would be the experience. I'm talking a spectrum from confused disinterest to neutrality to being welcomed warmly with open arms. Because that's what happens when you're not a dick. This is some boy who cried wolf shit.
Thank you. So, all right, let's ask another Jewish lady. You know, but it's a long video. Let's ask another Jewish lady what she thinks about what happened in Amsterdam.
Jewish or Judaism.
Wait, hold on.
Nobody would ever catch.
Wait.
I say this as a Jewish person. What
Wait, hold
happened
on.
in
I messed
Amsterdam
up.
is
Wait.
not a pogrom. It was around. I say this as a Jewish person.
Oh, I messed up.
I'm a Jewish girl.
All right. Anyway, let's listen to
Is
this.
secular.
Another Jewish girl. God bless her. Go ahead, honey. Talk. Say your piece.
I want to talk about the recent anti-Semitism that happened in Amsterdam. You
Listen
might have
to her,
heard that
listen
there
to
was
her.
some anti-Semitic chants and violence between football fans in Amsterdam, and there was. Zionists came and shouted death to all Arabs, and that, my friends, is very anti-Semitic because Arabs are Semites.
Thank you.
Zionism has nothing to do with being Semitic. Zionism has nothing to do with being Jewish or Judaism. Zionism is secular.
Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. I had another witness who's happened to be Jewish. You understand? This is the problem we're having, that non-Jews are creating this environment that people are anti-Semite. They're not looking at the whole picture. All right, we're going to look at one more report, and then we're going to go to our friend Lorna Box and Destiny, okay? This is another report. This is a British YouTuber. Because the YouTubers, they know the truth. The only people who are lying is the mainstream media. If you watch the mainstream media and you watch the liberals, they say, well, we lost the election because of the students' protests in Colombia. They're not talking about that. Actually is because Kamala Harris ignored the genocide in Gaza and tried to went after Dick Cheney and the other war criminals from the past. It's like she has this indirect love affair with these criminals. All right, let's go see another one here. La 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 la. You have to love you, baby. Hold on. Can't see that good. All right, now we're gonna see this. This is from another guy's channel to show you the pain that the media and some media went into to try to appease the behavior of these Jewish hooligans in Amsterdam. The reason I'm saying Jewish because they said it was anti-Semitism against Jews. So why are we gonna say Israelis and not Jewish? So there were Jewish hooligans. They were okay. Do I got it there? You got it? Okay. Let's watch this, my friends. And so I'm just gonna watch a little bit of it, so we'll get an idea of what took place. Okay. Now, he's gonna tell you how the media changed the actual news so they could defend and protect the narrative that was built on anti-Semitism, and they try to get those Arabs deported from Holland. That's what they're trying to do, and they probably succeeded. I feel sorry for those people. Go ahead. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Amsterdam left at least 5 people injured and dozens have been arrested.
Hold on, wait.
Violence in Amsterdam left at least...
This is the first report by Sky News. Listen, show you how strong that certain communities are in the world and how they could change even that narrative and have the media begging for mercy to tell the lies that they tell them to tell.
5 people injured and dozens have been arrested for what happened. Supporters of Israeli football club Maccabi Tel Aviv arrived in Amsterdam ahead of their UEFA Europa League match against Amsterdam club Ajax. On Wednesday, social media videos verified by Sky News show Maccabi Tel Aviv fans tearing down Palestinian flags from outside of homes. Other social media videos appeared to show residents chasing Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. On Thursday, just before the game, crowds of Maccabi fans were filmed singing racist and anti-Arab songs.
Okay.
While a pro-Palestinian demonstration had been banned by the mayor over fears there would be clashes. Later that evening during the match, Israeli supporters appeared to disrupt the minute silence for Valencia flood victims with chants whistles, and fireworks. Maccabi fans were seen attacking locals as a police car can be seen driving by. People with Palestinian flags were seen marching on the streets. Maccabi supporters say they were beaten and attacked on the streets of the Dutch capital, with videos showing some of the violence.
Say free Palestine and we go. Good.
Sky News could not independently verify all of the footage shown. Police arrested 62 people. 5 were taken to hospital, but have since been discharged. Israeli far-right ultras are notorious for their racism and physical violence. Dutch, Israeli and British leaders denounced the attacks as anti-Semitic and even referred to it as a pogrom. But their statements failed to mention the assaults by the Israeli hooligans against Dutch citizens.
Thank you.
So according to that report, before any violence broke out after that football match on Thursday night, Israeli fans had torn down Palestinian flags, disrupted a minute's silence at the march, and chanted racist songs about Arabs. It's worth noting that one line from that chant not shown on TV was this: "Ole, ole, ole, why is school out in Gaza? There are no children left there." Right, so that's what they were chanting.
Thank you.
The report also shows that after the match, gangs of Israeli fans attacked locals in the city, and it pointed out the presence of far-right Israeli ultras among the fans. And it noted that political leaders condemned the attacks on Israeli fans as anti-Semitic without mentioning the assaults by Israelis on Dutch citizens. It turns out, though, that report we just showed you from Sky News was in fact too balanced, and it was quickly deleted. And replaced with a new one. The original report is on the left, the new one is on the right. And in the new version, the violence in Amsterdam is immediately framed as anti-Semitic. The new report also had a different opening, setting up the narrative of Israeli victimhood right from the start.
There you go.
Violence in Amsterdam left at least 5 people injured and dozens have been arrested. But what happened?
Everything should be done to track down and prosecute the perpetrators. This is simply anti-Semitic violence against Israelis that actually defies description.
That was Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof describing the scenes in Amsterdam as anti-Semitic before the audience has even seen them. I haven't seen the scenes yet in that package. There are other changes too. Added to the new report was this interview with a Maccabi fan.
It's the same feeling that I felt in the morning of the 7th of October.
It's the victimhood.
Now, no interviews with Dutch locals were added to that report. And remember the scene reporting Maccabi fans attacking locals after the match? Well, that was replaced with this.
A video posted on social media shows a large group of hooded men dressed in black running down the street and striking people at random.
So it's no longer Maccabi hooligans doing the attacks, but unidentifiable hooded men. Now, that footage was filmed by Dutch photojournalist Annette de Graaf, who has complained about her video being misused by mainstream media. This is how she says it should be reported. Write down, Maccabi supporters attacked Amsterdam citizens in front of Central Station after the game. She also has asked for media outlets to remove her footage and apologize because they are sort of misrepresenting it as the fans being attacked, not the fans doing the attacking.
Thank you.
De Graaf's footage also appears to have been manipulated on BBC Newsnight during an interview with Maccabi supporter Ami Schumann.
No police, no one to take care of us because they didn't know what is going to happen.
We're the victims.
And suddenly a lot of people come to attack us. A lot of people, like 100, maybe more, with belts and sticks and rock. And they took everything that they can to beat Israeli and Jews.
So that was BBC Newsnight playing video of Israeli football fans attacking locals to illustrate a story in which the hooligans are cast as the victims. Right. So the person who filmed that footage said they were the Israeli football fans. If you're going to use that footage, you better be honest or take it down and apologize. I don't think the BBC have. Teenage journalist Ome Bender was also at the scene, following the crowd of Maccabi fans from the...
Hold on. What happened? Come on. Hold on, guys. Internet issues. They're attacking me because I'm telling the truth. Let me try one more time. Now I'm going to get rid of it. What happened? All right, I got to get rid of that. I know what they're doing. All right, you're winning. Let me get out of here. Okay. You see what happened right away? It got attacked. I don't know why. So I let it go. All right, I'm back. You saw what happened? Even Sky News changed their reports. First, they did a report where they told the truth that these people were acting out of, they were hooligans. They were attacking people in the street, cab drivers, people who can't defend themselves. And once the news got around the city, because don't forget, the Holland team has, God damn it, I hate myself, man. Don't forget that the Holland team has they have fans. So when they saw that these Jewish kids, these Jewish hooligans who came from Israel to do what they do in Israel, you understand? It was I gotta get rid of this, man. This is
football stadium until they were intercepted by the police. His footage also tells a
Okay, hold on. What happened? What's going on? I can't get rid of this. Hold on. Yeah, Khan. Okay. All right, got rid of it. Thank God. It was a nice article. All right, so I'm back here. I don't know. I can't stop the thing over here. You just don't want to go. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you saw how Sky News changed the story. And you have there with TV, hey, they're looking for the Jews. Nobody was looking for no Jews. These are Jewish young men who are used to being spoiled in Tel Aviv, who chant the same chants at all the games in Israel and Haifa, while they have 2 to 3 million Israeli citizens. I'm not talking about the Palestinians. These are inside Israel. They have no respect for them, and they're chanting death to the Arabs. So you got to ask me, who's the hooligans there? You understand? Who are the anti-Semites? They're those Arabs. They were not yelling death to the Jews in the street of Holland, or death to children, the death of the Jewish children. They're not, but it is the media. It is what it is. You saw what the media was doing when the media was actually defending when they said they lost the election to Donald Trump because that the suburban women were horrified. Were horrified to see Jewish students being what do you call it? Okay. Jewish students being bullied in front of universities. That whole thing, I had a whole thing, but my mic was not working. It shows you that there's always that mafia that is ready to defend the Israel or any Jewish acting in the Middle East, whatever they do, any genocide. The mass media. What do you see? Do you ever see anything on CNN? No, you don't see anything on CNN. Do you ever see anything on MSNBC? Once in a while, they put a story there out of guilt, just to look good. Like, oh, listen, we did a story about 3 months ago, remember? Well, you didn't see it, so you can't say anything. Anyway, let me go now to the idiots. We're gonna watch this together. It's about Lorna Box and Destiny, how they will go through craziness just to defend they would bend backward to defend what's going on in Israel and the West Bank. In the West Bank and in Gaza. It's unbelievable, man. First, I don't respect Destiny. I have no respect for Destiny. I never did. I don't have no respect for somebody who will shop his wife around in an open marriage and saying that it's okay to do that. Huh? You understand? That don't make no sense. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. That is the most retarded shit I ever heard. You can't have. I don't understand. People will debate that. I would never debate Destiny. Oh, sit on the same stage with him. You understand? Because he has no self-respect for himself. Any person that will let me start the video, is willing to have his wife sleep with men while he waits outside the building. Yeah. You don't want that guy on your side when things hit the fan. All right, so let's go. Let's watch our main video here. This is I don't know who this guy is. If you go to his channel, this guy's name is let me give him some credit so he don't kill me. Where are you, brother? I'm trying to find his name. What is his name? Okay, I got the wrong one then. I'm looking at the wrong thing and I had it ready. What happened? God damn it. Hold on. Wait, what is this? What am I watching? What the hell is this? Hold on. I'll be right back, okay? I gotta fix the video, okay? I'll be right back. Give me 1 minute. Don't go anyplace. Please don't go anyplace. I'll be right back, okay? Let me shut off the camera.
Amsterdam was not a person. What happened in Amsterdam? Around and find out. I'm a Jewish girl. I've spent plenty of time in Europe. I'm 100% confident I can travel safely throughout Europe. You know why? Because I'm not running around town screaming and pulling down residents' flags. I'm not in a huge group of aggressors chanting death to Arabs. Nobody would ever catch me singing a jingle about the dead children of Gaza. And in general, I wouldn't be walking around trying to be a vile, violent nuisance to the locals. I know. I could post up on any public street corner and light my Shabbat candles and wear my Star of David and invite people to say the mourner's Kaddish.
And I'm willing to marry you as an Arab. I'll marry you.
I would be
We'll be the first love Arab and Jewish get
fine.
married.
I would be absolutely
because we love each
safe.
other. We're proof that we love each other, all right? All right, I'm going to try to get that video because I messed up. I'm not organized here. You know how it is, man. I got to get that video. I'm going to put it up because I think it's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? It is. Okay. I don't know why I had that. Okay, this is not it. Let me see. Is this it? Wait. All right, I got it. Hold on. Okay. All right. Yeah, I apologize. I had it all the time, just not organized here. Please don't go away. Whoever's left here, I'm shadow banned here. Go Donald Trump, go. We love the Trump. I hope Trump does the right thing, man. You got a mandate, do the right thing, my brother. Don't get into these idiotic behavior of self-inflicted wounds that you don't need. You got to clean up the country, man. We need our kids to go back to school and learn how to read and write. That's it. That's all we want them to do. We don't want nothing else. The other stuff we don't want. The musical chairs of pronouns and nouns, he, she, we is over. It's gone. Even the Democratic Party finally found out they were in the wrong. They were the wrong thing, man. They were doing the wrong thing, man. Let me try this one more time. They knew they were doing the wrong thing, that nobody gives a damn about this stuff. You understand how to defend? Okay. Yeah, right. You gotta love it forever. Got it? Okay. All right, I'm gonna do it right now. I got it now. Guys, I got it. I swear to God, I got it. Ready? Boom. Okay. Here you go. What happened? Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. You know, this is weird. In StreamYard, you cannot have two screens, believe it or not. You could have only one screen. Now it's going to go.
Ongoing Gaza genocide.
That's it.
This video was made possible thanks to my supporters on Patreon and Ko-fi. If you like it and you'd like to see more like it, consider heading over there and supporting me yourself.
Support this guy, man. Support him.
This is Israel's self-appointed lawyer, the YouTuber Lonabox. He has taken it upon himself to do every possible thing that he can to defend Israel's Gaza genocide. You're about to see him attempt his best defense of the revelation from a New York Times investigation that Israeli soldiers have intentionally been massacring children in droves via single, precise shots to the head. Multiple doctors and nurses who spent time serving in Gaza hospitals during the genocide attested to the fact that between them, they had seen many dozens, upwards of 100 in total, cases of children shot in the head. And they provided the New York Times with x-rays that show these injuries, as well as photographic evidence, which the Times considered too graphic to publish, of these children's gunshot wounds to the head. The evidence that this is a systemic practice of the Israeli military in Gaza is quite overwhelming. So how does a pro-genocide propagandist deal with this? Let's take a look. Here is the reaction of Israel's lawyer to seeing political commentator Mehdi Hassan bring this up in a debate.
3 American doctors went to Gaza. Dr. Fayaz Sidwar, Dr. Irfan Galaria, and a Jewish American doctor called Dr. Mark Perlmutter. All of them came back at separate times, said children were brought into hospitals we were in with gunshot to the head, sniper shots. Perfect. Exact targets. There is no tunnel that justifies shooting toddlers in the head. Israeli snipers.
Does this guy not know how sniping jobs work? Like, the problem with sniping...
This guy doesn't know how sniping works. Sniping work. He got a hoarse voice.
Isn't like the accuracy is not because obviously you got your scope and the fucking it's quite easy. You can accurately snipe, but targets and personnel move really, really fast when you're sniping. Like snipers make their decisions in less than a split second.
Yeah, but these children, you see in the crosshair of your rifle, whatever it is, the thing you look at, you know it's a child. Now, don't try to educate us. Don't try to educate us on what sniping is. The issue we have is with the victim that's being sniped. This is the problem we have. Okay, Lona Box. I heard you and Destiny were doing the nasty in Tel Aviv in the hotel.
In combat situations. Yeah. Unless you're suggesting there were just a couple of kids sitting on a hill.
Yeah.
And a guy opposite in a building just went, got him, take him out. Maybe someone committed a war crime. But I don't think that's Israeli policy is to snipe kids for no reason. To snipe toddlers, but okay.
Okay, so the rebuttal there is that apparently this is just happening by accident. Israeli snipers are accidentally shooting hundreds of kids in the head because they are mistaking them for fire.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Hold on. Yeah, okay, Allah ينعل المشين هذا. Good. What happened? Okay, hold on. Let me fix it. Hold on. I'm going to fix it right now, okay? Sorry. Yeah, shut up. Good.
Fighters or something. And apparently this guy is a sniper expert, and that's how he knows this is happening. It really is that simple.
Does this guy not know how sniping jobs work?
Now, refuting this on a factual basis seems redundant and stupid to even do, because it's clear that he's just making this up in the moment. It's not really a serious argument or anything. He's just desperate to defend anything that Israel does, and that's just what happened to come to his mind in that moment. Nonetheless, it can be refuted on a factual basis. You aim for the head in an assassination when you are sure that you have the shot, and your aim is not to disable the target as a threat, but rather to ensure a kill. In a combat situation, if these were militants who pose a threat, the aim first and foremost is to disable them as a threat, rather than to kill them. And the head is a much smaller target than the body, so it is far safer to aim for the body. So there being so many headshots makes it very, very clear that these are deliberate targeted killings of children. You do not accidentally precisely aim at the head of a child and pull the trigger hundreds of times. Not that it would stop being a war crime if they were killing hundreds of preteen children with body shots by any means. And it would also be quite obvious anyway, looking through a sniper scope, that you are looking at a child and not a militant. Yeah. To precisely aim for the head, line up a shot, take the shot, and hit it, not just once, but hundreds of times, indicates a level of intent that can only reasonably be described as systematic. But what is Israel's lawyer's argument for why he thinks that despite that overwhelming evidence, it's actually not so obvious? Well,
but I don't think that's Israeli policy, is to snipe kids for no reason, to snipe toddlers, but okay.
You heard right. Just that he thinks Israel wouldn't do it. That's all. That's all he needs. They wouldn't do it. I don't believe they would do it. Evidence be damned. They are not doing it. I said so. Case closed. There's a clear implication there, which should be obvious to anyone who is familiar with the rhetoric of pro-Israel propagandists, that also implying that they would do that intentionally is anti-Semitic. And this sort of claim is very oft-repeated. For example, in this tweet by another pro-Israel propagandist who was very adamant that Israel would simply never kill a child intentionally. It's impossible. They've just committed tens of thousands of unfortunate accidents, systematically, in a clear pattern over the course of a year. Or this abhorrent Guardian article where another pro-Israel propagandist explicitly argues that the media citing factual information about Israel murdering children is a form of anti-Semitic blood libel. Now, Israel's lawyer isn't quite as explicit as that guy was, but the implication is there. He knows what he's doing. The others who do the same thing know what they're doing. The best argument that they have is that in spite of all the evidence that makes it clear as day that they are in fact doing this, they wouldn't do it. After all,
what's up, how are you?
Jewish people can't commit atrocities like everyone else. How dare you imply otherwise? Aside from massacring children, women, men, the elderly, babies, pretty much anyone they can get down.
Hold on. Yeah. What's up, Ian? Are you still there? I'm sorry, Ian. I wasn't paying attention. How you feeling, man? Did I see Ian? It was in my head now. I think I'm seeing stuff, right? What a such an idiot, man. John Wayne, is that you, man? I think okay. That's not. Did I see Ian? I know I saw him, man. All right, maybe it's my head and I'm losing my mind. Let me put my brother back on. Let him talk his mind. Good. Wait, hold on.
Their hands on, Israel has also been making their defenders' jobs quite a bit harder by just plain making shit up all the time. Whether it's elaborate, obviously fake, pretty renderings of Hamas command centers under a hospital, which they then use to justify multiple massacres committed at that hospital, or making ludicrous claims like Palestinians massacring 40 babies, the job of the self-appointed lawyers of Israel becomes harder with every single claim made. Let's refer back to that one again to see how he dealt with the 40 beheaded babies claim.
Again, this is why it's like the 40 beheaded babies. That hoax was not an Israeli, I think there's a better way to put it. The 40 beheaded babies was not actually an Israeli government hoax. It wasn't. It was a misspeak from a journalist that was spread around the world by a few fucking nutters. And then the people who really made it last were people who were anti-Israel. They were the ones who spread that. They're the ones who have kept that alive.
So his strategy here is not to blame that propaganda on the Israelis who made it up and spread it, but rather to blame the people who are against Israel's genocide.
The people who spread it actually was the president, Joe Biden, and the other stuff, the other people, they spread it. Actually, the Netanyahu, all the publications, New York Times, all these stuff. Yeah, they actually did that. These were not anti-Semites. These are pro-Semites. these are the usual players for the Israeli propaganda machine. So and this Lorna Box, he's so disgusting. One time I told him, we were talking about the trucks, then I go into people to eat. He said, oh, they are going. He started showing me some pictures of trucks. And I told him the defense minister basically said, no food, no water, no fuel. We will not give these animals. He said, well, he's trying to protect the trucks. Can you believe that? If we were in the same room, I would smack the daylight out of him because I don't like stupidity.
Aside for calling them out on it and not allowing them to forget it. The first part of this strategy here is not a very advanced one. It's known as lying. He lies about this idea that this was just an error made by one reporter, which was not spread by the Israeli state or other Israeli propagandists, nor anyone of any significance. It was merely mostly picked up on by opponents of Israel, solely by them, which is apparently a bad thing for them to do because, I don't know, apparently it's wrong to point out that Israel is inventing abhorrent, obviously fake, genocide-justifying propaganda over and over again because who knows why? He doesn't explain it. Here's the thing, though. This was spread by the state of Israel. It was spread by Eilon Levy, their official spokesman at the time. It was spread all over official Israeli social media. It was spread by Netanyahu's personal spokesperson.
When you listed the unconscionable atrocities that took place in that kibbutz, you did say that babies have been decapitated. Can I take that as confirmation then? Because that currently is being reported as reported action. That has actually happened as it turns.
Toddlers, babies, I can tell you that they, some of them...
She's lying right out of her ass.
This is what we're hearing from soldiers on the ground, and yes, they cut off heads. They cut off heads.
Which was then seen by U.S. President Joe Biden, who then repeated the claim uncritically in a press conference.
I've been doing this a long time.
He's so ghost.
I never really thought that I would see confirmed pictures of terrorists beheading children.
You'll have to answer those
I never thought I'd ever... Anyway.
Biden, the most powerful politician in the world, the leader of the state that is Israel's prime backer and accomplice, continued to repeat that claim for months afterwards. So apparently this claim was just made by one reporter and, just sort of was a fart in the wind, according to this guy, when in actual reality, it was spread precisely by the Israeli state itself and their key ally, enabler, and supporter, the President of the United States of America. So the strategy of Israel's lawyer here was firstly just to lie, and then also to build on top of that lie by doing some impossibly stupid mental gymnastics to somehow spin globalist tier propaganda, specifically spread by Israel to justify its genocide, on the people who are against the genocide. And I gotta say, it doesn't work at all. It is just kind of self-evidently ludicrous how these people are twisting themselves into knots to justify the unjustifiable. To willingly not just embarrass yourself in public like this, but to do it for the purposes of justifying genocide. I don't think there is an adjective that is strong enough to describe that level of both idiocy and depravity. The Israelis, their supporters, and their American allies spread an obvious lie about fake dead Israeli babies to justify their massacre of thousands of very real Palestinian babies. And we have people like this not talking about those actually real massacred Palestinian babies, but rather how Israeli propaganda about fake massacred Israeli babies is actually to blame on those who are against Israel's genocide. The pure dismissiveness that this guy displays when it comes to Palestinians being massacred, children, babies being killed, it's just inhuman. But if you thought that was bad, how about we move on to one of Lonabox's best friends and frequent collaborators, the streamer Destiny. Topically, he had some comments to make about the self-evidently absurd 40 beheaded babies propaganda, in which he just uncritically accepted Israeli propaganda entirely at its word.
The beheaded baby one, it was mostly factually correct, right? There were 40 dead babies, at least one was decapitated.
There was only 2 babies that died. One was shot, and the other one just died from injuries wherever during the mayhem. No children being beheaded. The only children were beheaded were in Gaza by 2,000-pound bombs thrown out of the sky. That's the only people.
They weren't all 40 decapitated, right? But so it's mostly correct, not 40 beheaded babies, just 40 dead babies with a few of their heads cut off, right?
So much for it only being hung on to by those dastardly anti-genocide people, huh?
It was a misspeak from a journalist that was spread around the world by a few fucking nutters.
Now let's compare the standard of evidence that Destiny has for accepting ridiculous claims made by Israelis with the standard of evidence that he applies to literal video evidence of Palestinians being executed right before his eyes by the Israeli military. Now, I can't show the context of the clip that he is reacting to here for fear of potentially getting this video taken down by YouTube for showing someone literally dying, but I will describe it to you and there will be a link in the description. A reporter for the British news outlet ITV approaches a group of people in an Israeli-declared safe zone for civilians. These people are holding a white flag and waving it in order to make it clear to any Israeli troops that they are civilians. The reporter interviews a few of them. They explain that they are evacuating because, as is clear from the billowing smoke and gunshots which can be heard in the background, the supposed safe zone is no longer safe. Having interviewed the men, the interviewer turns around and leaves. Suddenly, Israeli troops begin firing on this group, and they hit one of them, killing him instantly. He is pulled aside behind cover by his companions, where they are joined by other civilians who are also evacuating. Amidst their screams and cries as they realize that he is dead, the Israeli soldiers begin to fire on them again. To reiterate, again, this was a group of civilians, including children, who were waving white flags. They had done everything that Israel had told them to do. They were in an Israeli-declared safe area, and they were in the process of evacuating to a different safe area. So what did Destiny think about this? Well,
the interview complete, our cameraman walked away.
So like why? So he is interviewing the guy who's about to go do some shit to get himself killed, basically. That's what's going to happen.
No. He's actually had a white flag. It was a bunch of them. They were going to a safe area with their hands up in the air. You fucking cockhold.
We know from this point that's what's going to happen. So he walks away, gets back a little bit, and then he sets up behind this thing, right? Is this concealment, I guess? Not cover concealment, right? Because I think the tank's over here. So now he can capture the footage right here. He sees the guys walking, knowing that they're about to get shot, because that's what's going to happen. And then eventually they get shot, and everything is, this is it. It's like Act 1, 2, and 3. It's like all here. Now this guy is down. He's dead. These guys are like...
fatally wounded.
They're not even like... They're not even running. They're not even like cowering and running away and screaming in fear. They're like, okay, well, they did it. We got our shots. Okay, is this guy done? Oh, shit. Well,
where they gonna run? They're being sniped, you piece of shit. They have white flags in their hand.
Okay. Well, we brought the white flags. We put that over the bleeding part.
Money got you like that.
Flag.
And then this guy, what is this guy running back to grab the wife?
By this stage, the man's wife, his widow, has heard what happened.
And like, what does this mean? The wife has heard what happened. Like, bro.
I know this is strange to you, Destiny, because your wife was fucking half the United States while you waited outside in a cab. Actually, wives do care about their husbands, not like you got used for legal papers. As soon as the 3 years she become an American citizen, she kicked you out to the curb. She was using you. You look like a fucking boy. You understand? And he blocked me because I told him that. See, that's the difference. Husbands and wives, they have relationships that are very emotionally and they are bonded together, especially if they've been 30, 40 years together. This is something strange to you. You know, I know it is.
Oh, this is crazy. I'm sorry. The tracking live movement shot of the lady running up to her dead husband?
How could
like,
she want
what
that
is
husband?
this?
By this stage, the man's wife, his widow, has heard what happened.
Somebody went back and told her, right? The 5 martyrs that walked forward, you know, your husband was the unlucky guy. He drew the short stick today, so come forward, cry for us on camera. Do you think the guy intentionally wanted to get killed? No, I don't think he wanted to die. I don't think they were thinking they were going to die.
Okay.
But they probably were hoping to get shot at, or maybe so you're saying the woman was acting? I don't think the woman was acting. She probably was sincerely sad. Her husband got fucking killed. But I think they were farming TikTok clips.
Watch.
I mean, remember, these people.
She's doing TikTok clips. You fucking animal, man. You know, when you're a cockhold, if you have no agency over your wife's vagina, you have no agency over your anus. He admitted that he's bisexual. So he took it up the ass, and he used to watch his wife take it up the ass.
I mean, these people actually, have suicide bombers. So it's not that big of a stretch to imagine
bombs.
that they would be willing to get shot. However, now I haven't gone down this road because this is way more. It would require me to make a lot more assumptions. But it's also possible he didn't get shot, right? Now, do we know the name of the guy?
Shot,
dead? Do we know if it's his wife? These are a whole bunch of questions that would be valid. Now, I was way more on the pro-Zionist side. I would be asking those questions. Who is this guy? Do we even know if he's actually fucking dead? Like, we don't actually see the wound. It seems like they don't have any problem showing anything else. Like, why just the white flag so that it can look all bloody? Like, show us the actual gunshot. You have no problem showing other violence, right? What Pallywood means is
he wants to see the actual gunshot. So he wants to be the medical examiner. You know, when they do the autopsy, you are a disgustingly creep, and you are a disgusting human being. If your followers, if your subscribers who feed you their money, and if anybody who is associated with you, because you're nothing but a subhuman, you have no agency over you have no, your cockhole. That's the worst thing that could be. The only other animal in the world that's a cockhole is the pig. All animals fight for their wives or get jealous or do a little, hit in the head there or bite each other over another animal. Only the pig doesn't give a damn, and that's thing. They are in the same class.
Is that you're capturing intentional video footage to sell a certain narrative about what's going on, basically. So Pallywood might be, this, right? So the idea is that like 4 innocent civilians are like walking up, and you just want like a clip here of the idea of shooting them for no reason because they're civilians with white flags. And you kind of ignore the fact that like, okay, well, they're in a battle zone in an area they were told to evacuate from, and they're going back to try to release somebody that was captured. Like that's like Pallywood. You're essentially provoking the enemy to take what is largely.
You're provoking the enemy by walking around with a white flag and going to an area that the enemy told you to go to because it's safe. At the same time, because the enemies are a bunch of fucking cowards, young kids, 18, 19 years old, with free American rifles and bullets, happen to just, for enjoyment, shoot people who are walking, and Destiny wants to see where the bullet hit. He needs to see that. He needs proof. And the wife who's acting probably for some TikTok videos. So that's what it is to Destiny.
A justified action, and then trying to say there's like indiscriminate civilian killing. Like a setup. It's not fake, but they're doing it to themselves. Well,
they're killing themselves.
Like, you're dehumanizing yourself. You're suiciding and sacrificing your civilian population.
Did you get that? Did you digest what was just said there?
Taking
it in? The Palestinian civilians were asking for it. By trying to make a crossing in an officially Israeli declared safe zone for civilians, no less, they are responsible.
That's like saying blacks in the South during the Jim Crow era were just running around just to get lynched, and they were asking for it because they happened to be chased by people in sheets, and that's what it is. Oh, fuck.
For their own murder. It's their fault for walking around with a white flag while being so Palestinian in the vision of an Israeli soldier. Much like Lonabox, his very first instinct when he is confronted with overwhelming evidence of the state which he unconditionally supports committing war crimes, when said evidence renders outright denial impossible, the first thing that comes to mind for him is to blame the victims for their own deaths. He literally, unironically, makes the argument that Palestinians are essentially like baiting Israeli soldiers by walking provocatively with a white flag into killing them so that they can film it to do what he calls farming TikTok clips. This is the level of depravity, of desperation that the genocide propagandists are at. Israel's actions are so obvious, so clear, so well evidenced, so indefensible that there are frequently times like these where the best defense they can muster is, well, what did you expect, man? It's not like you can expect an Israeli soldier to resist an opportunity to just murder a Palestinian civilian. You were kind of asking for it there. And they aren't even cognitive of what they're saying is a denouncement of themselves, of Israel, of everything they're trying to defend. The Goebbels level Israeli genocide propaganda that they are utilizing to attempt to justify their genocide, that's the fault of Palestinians and their supporters for even talking about it.
People who were anti-Israel, they were the ones who spread that.
Palestinian civilians being murdered by Israel on video in broad daylight while waving white flags in an Israeli-declared safe zone, that's their fault too.
I think they were farming TikTok clips.
Now, genocide justification usually has levels to it. It has like a checklist. First, it's blatant lies, attempting to sow doubt about the facts. You know, we can't really know what's going on, right? There's the fog of war. It's very unclear, though in this case, it's very much not unclear. The evidence is totally overwhelming. You see it on your social media feed every single day. They nonetheless have to act like the evidence is not clear, have to muddy the waters because it's the best that they can manage. To begin with, it's either that or just outright denying that it happened. The evidence is fake. It's Hollywood, as our friend Destiny so graciously called it. It's a Hamas conspiracy to delegitimize Israel, stuff like that. Then once that argument inevitably falls over, they move on to what Lonerbox tried in that first clip. Okay, so it did happen, but there is an accident or there is some other explanation for it. Then when that doesn't work out, they move on to claiming, okay, so it wasn't an accident, and maybe there isn't a good explanation for it, but that's not representative of the conduct of the Israeli military overall. Please ignore the endless evidence that it is. It's got nothing to do with the Israeli government or systematic Israeli policy. It's just one or two guys doing some bad stuff, you know? Then when none of that works, when they are backed into a corner by the endless evidence that makes it abundantly clear that this is very much intentional policy, they move on to one of two things. Acknowledging that it's happening, but implying that somehow the victims made it happen, or the tried and tested strategy of, so are you implying that Israel would intentionally do the thing that there is clear evidence that is intentionally doing? What are you, anti-Semitic? Now I'm going to bring up a clip of Israel's lawyer desperately trying to defend Israel from the charges, incredibly well evidenced, that it is systematically using Gazan civilians as human shields. This is something that has been evidenced by dozens of testimonies of the victims, by clear photo and video evidence of it occurring, and by Israeli soldiers themselves who have come forward to say that the practice is happening. Think about the checklist that I went over and see which tactic you can see being used here.
I'm guessing you already know that they're using like Gazan civilians to scope out tunnels and buildings, right?
Yeah, I know that, yeah. Or at least the Haaretz article said that, so yeah.
Yeah, that's a top-down thing. So it is policy. It's not just the accountability thing. Right?
Is that like is that actually their military policy though? Because I thought one of the problems there was that soldiers eventually were refusing to do it because of the unlawful.
No, there were some that didn't want to do it, but it was still like the commander issuing the orders, and it's a pretty open secret in the IDF, and it hasn't been done before in other wars.
Yeah, so you're saying a commander did it, but a commander obviously is not particularly high up in the chain of command. Like, is it the case that is it still the case that it's their IDF policy? Like, it's the policy from like the chief of staff though, or is it like commanders are doing it, but people are turning a blind eye? Because that's like my argument. My argument is that people are getting away with committing crimes because there's not going to be accountability, but it still doesn't negate the fact that their training even tells them not to do that. Their training tells them if you get an unlawful order, you're supposed to disobey.
So he's making the bad apples argument here, except not for individual soldiers, but for commanders. You know, the fact that there are individual soldiers who are refusing this order and going to the media to complain about it indicates that it is in fact systemic, that it is in fact policy, because it is coming from the commanders, and it is only a few individual soldiers who have denounced it. That is the exact opposite of a few bad apples. But he nonetheless tries to make that argument because nothing else occurs to him. I'm eagerly awaiting the sequel to this argument. It's just a few bad prime ministers. Like half of his arguments are these clearly systemic practices that have been repeated time and time again in a clear pattern of conduct that is simply undeniable, are somehow not indicative of Israeli policy, of Israel's goals in this so-called war, of why they're there in the first place, and why they are doing what they are doing. While we're on that note, let's go over one final clip. It is his reaction to Mehdi Hassan going over a laundry list of Israel's genocidal crimes that they have committed in the last year.
I don't understand how we're debating this more than 40,000 deaths later. I don't understand how we're still debating this sitting in the comfort of New York, 7,000 miles away from a place that the UN Secretary General has called hell on earth. Justified? Justified? Was Israel justified in carrying out one of the most intense civilian punishment campaigns in history, according to Dr. Robert Pape at the University of Chicago, dropping 500-pound bombs, 1,000-pound bombs, 2,000-pound bombs on schools, hospitals, universities, bookstores, libraries, mosques, churches, refugee camps, apartment buildings, cemeteries, destroying a higher percentage of buildings in northern Gaza than the Allies destroyed in Dresden during World War II, reducing Gaza to 42 million tons of rubble while they got people out of the way? How is that justified? Dropping a bomb, for example, on a 6-story apartment building in central Gaza last October, killing more than 100 people inside, including more than 50 children, with no Hamas target in sight, according to Human Rights Watch, with no explanation offered by the Israeli military. Even till today, was that justified, Elon? Was Israel justified in telling people to go to safe zones and then bombing them and killing them in those safe zones? According to NBC, there were 7 deadly airstrikes between January and April in areas that the Israeli military had specifically designated as safe zones, killing Palestinian civilians like Sabrine Sakani, who was 30 weeks pregnant at the time. She was killed in a safe zone in April. Her little baby, newborn baby, died less than a week later. Was that justified too, Elon? Was Israel justified in killing a record number of kids in Gaza, 16,000 children, turning Gaza into what the UN has called a graveyard for children, according to Save the Children, killing more kids in the first 3 weeks that were killed globally in each of the past 4 years, killing little kids like 6-year-old Hind Rajab and her 15-year-old sister Layan, firing 335 bullets into the car they were in. 335 bullets. And then killing the 2 paramedics who went to try and rescue them. Was that justified too, Elon? Was Israel justified in killing a record number of aid workers in Gaza? Right? A record number. Targeting again and again, systematically, car by car, according to Chef Jose Andreas. A specifically, explicitly marked World Central Kitchen aid convoy killing 7 aid workers in the process. Was that justified? Was Israel justified in starving the people of Gaza, using food and water as a weapon of war, to quote both the EU and Oxfam? Was Israel justified in blocking aid trucks from going into Gaza simply because they carry things like crutches, nail clippers, and even chocolate croissants, according to the Washington Post? Was Israel justified in raping, sodomizing Palestinian detainees who were charged with no crime whatsoever? Putting hot rods up their rectums. Amputating their limbs, according to CNN and the New York Times. Was that rape and torture justified, Elon? Israel, according to the ICC chief prosecutor, who put out a statement calling for the arrest of Elon's former boss, Benjamin Netanyahu, said that Israel may have military goals, legitimate goals, but the way they're carried out, killing innocent people, starving people, is criminal, he said. Criminal, think about that. Elon Levy is a former spokesperson for a man who the ICC chief prosecutor once arrested for war crimes. Elon himself has produced a number of lies, sorry, John, in service of those war crimes. He has a bunch of tweets still up tonight which say that babies were beheaded on October the 7th, babies were baked in ovens, babies were ripped from their mother's wombs. October 7th was bad enough, but Elon had to exaggerate it for atrocity purposes. Those tweets are still up. Why would you trust anything this man says to you tonight? Look, he's here. He's here to gaslight you, to defend the indefensible, to excuse the inexcusable, to justify the unjustifiable, but you don't need to. Tonight, you can choose to be on the side not of cruelty, not of criminality, but on the side of the innocent people of Gaza who are being killed as we speak tonight, as we speak, by Elon's former colleagues in the Israeli military on the orders of Elon's former bosses in the Israeli government. So yes, I choose to oppose this horrific and homicidal motion.
I think the problem is that if you want to, I'm trying to think of like how you would illustrate what's wrong with what Mehdi's saying. Is let's assume that every case that Mehdi put forward was true.
Yeah,
when he talked about particular incidents like the WCK bombing or the person who was the child who was shot while they were in a car or like all this kind of stuff. So if they're talking about that, then it's kind of like saying that doesn't really, you could just argue none of that actually says whether or not the broad military campaign is justified or not. You understand that, right?
So
fucking, you see that what he's saying now? Fucking that horse.
Apparently, the fact that Israel is clearly systematically committing war crimes, crimes against humanity, pretty much every international crime that you could ever think of on a mass scale, patterns that make it clear that they are there in order to do what they are literally doing. We, however, cannot judge their so-called military campaign by what they are doing. The fact that they are doing these things says nothing about whether them doing those things is actually justified or not. Apparently, in order to deduce why Israel is doing what it is doing in Gaza, we can't look at what it's doing in Gaza. You know, like destroying 60% of all buildings in the territory, many of them through literal controlled demolitions, schools, mosques, churches, museums, all destroyed intentionally, massacring endless scores of civilians with numbers that are simply impossible to achieve unless it is being done intentionally. We apparently can't look at that and say, yeah, they're there because they want to kill the civilians. That's why they're killing them. They're there because they want to expel the civilians. That's why they are expelling them. They're destroying every single building there because they want to destroy it, because they want to destroy Gaza. No. You can't do that. Why? He just sort of decided you can't. That really is all there is to it. That's his argument. And that is aside from, all of the undeniable statements.
All right, so I think you get the gist of it. I'm a bit tired here. Got to go watch my football, man. All right, so you saw what's going on, right? Let me fix the camera first. Let me get out of this situation here. All right. You saw what we saw, right? Hold on. Give me a second. I got to fix this guy. Come on. What are you doing, Omar? No, I put my OBS on. It's like when I try to do something, everything else messes up. Anyway, I think we get the gist of it, right? Let me start this here. Sorry. I'm loving you. Baby, I'm loving you. I'm loving you, baby. I'm loving you. Baby. Stop the screen. Thank you. I'm loving you, baby. I'm loving you. So I know it's not the time to sing. I'm just doing that because I'm messing up on my computer. Anyway, you saw the trio, our friends or our douchebags, in the toothless Wick and the horse face Lorna Box and Cockhole Destiny. They will defend Israel all the time and every time, all day, any time of the day, because the whole issue is about money, my friends. If you're willing to sell yourself to the devil, then you have issues. All these people who have sided with the genocide and have defended it, it's a shame what they're doing. They should be ashamed of themselves, and eventually time will catch up with them, no matter what. You understand? Time will catch up, and history will punish those who stood on the wrong side of history, who stood silence as men and women died in Gaza, children and all that stuff. Anyway, man, I appreciate all of you. All right. So we'll meet next time, I guess, right? Is that it or what? It's time to say goodbye, baby. Goodbye. Ayan. Her crying out. Oh, Ian, you're right there. I'm sorry, Ian, man. Yeah, they're crying out in pain, probably bored, drugs. Man, I think they be shadow banning. Oh, that's John, right? That's John Wayne, man. I keep on thinking of somebody else, man. That's my brother John Wayne, man. We used to go together in the Old West. We used to chase down the Indians, I guess, right? Is that what we used to do there? Anyway, guys, see you. Thank you for watching my channel. Try to put a show in once in a while or almost every day. It's hard, man, when you're by yourself. Love you all. Take care, and God bless, man. God bless, all right? God bless the United